as she was just saying there, to show it the least appreciation, but also, mentioning to have their place. And unfortunately, you've done so much work with veterans that are homeless in my state.
All over the place, in Northport and Brooklyn and the Bronx and Riverhead. There are homeless shelters for veterans all over Long Island, in neighborhoods that you would never believe that they would be. Sometimes you pass a house and you'll see an American flag in front, and you'll see a couple of people hanging out. That's a homeless shelter that has to kind of be hidden in neighborhoods because nobody really wants it in their own neighborhood. So, but I think we need to do more. It's been humbling what we've seen, and people living in underpasses under the Meadowbrook Parkway or in parks and being moved around. In Riverhead by the aquarium, if you go out in the marshes, a couple of years ago, there was an encampment of homeless vets there. Every way you can imagine.
Yeah, and especially now as we come into, what will eventually be colder temperatures. Luckily we've been having this mild fall, but it really resonates to say, this is no place to live.
Yeah. I think we need to do better as a country. Okay, I think we need to do more for these men and women. We were chatting a little bit before this event, and thank you for your grandfather, World War II veteran. It's a man who saved the world, everybody. We have to do more, and we do that. I got a lot of criticism when I started this organization. Why are you doing this? Do something else. If it's not to us, who's going to do it?
Right, and I know one of the projects that you work on is the welcome home aspect of this, where it's beds and housewares and small appliances and things of that nature, shower curtains even.
Everything. So about 6-7 years ago, my wife and I was called because there was a veteran that we knew who went through a shelter system, and he went through it all. Here's a veteran. He was a Vietnam vet whose wife passed away from pancreatic cancer, and that was very quick, as we know this. And a lot of his issues came out during that process, and he actually closed the door of his house and left and lived in the woods, lived in his car. And some wonderful people at the VA got him to come out of that, outside environment and come into the shelter system. And he went through the shelter systems and emergency to transitional, which is a process for the whole thing to make that happen. And through that process, there's a program called HUD-VASH. And HUD-VASH will help the veterans through government programs get their own apartments at a very reduced rate. But you get this apartment with nothing in it. So Sue and I met this first gentleman, and he was sleeping on a cot and he had a blanket. And he used old boxes as tables in his house so he had some McDonald's food over, because it's easy to afford. And we got him a bed, and that was the first one we did. And then we brought him pots and pans. We brought him other items that he needed. It made a difference in his life. So we said, wow, he has a chance now to succeed again on his own and not go back into a shelter. And we've been doing about 50 or 60 of those a year, where we partner with Mattress Firm, and we pay for these things on a reduced rate. They deliver the mattresses and the box springs and whatever the vets need to get started. But then we give the social workers that help them get this apartment an opportunity to join us at our warehouse, which is at Westies in East Northport. And they pick up everything they need, kind of like a kid going to college. You get the toaster and the sheets and the other items and the coffee pot and I just actually caught the Black Friday sale at Walmart and brought a whole ton of coffee pots. And everything they need to kind of get going, the pots and the pans and the dishes. It gives them a chance to feel like they matter. And that's what it's all about, not leave them alone in a corner. Welcome to the neighborhood. I remember when I was a kid, you'd have a new neighborhood come in and you bring them a box of salt. Salt was kind of the thing. And we kind of do that now as a welcoming opportunity. And for us, it's a gift. It's a gift for us. It's not really a gift for them. It's a thank you to them. But it's been a privilege to help these men and women out that, again, served our country and kind of like got
Absolutely
left behind.